Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Upland Sports Arena. Dennis Warner Instinct Productions and the King of Beers Budweiser present to you 5 rounds for the IKKC California Welterweight Title. And here are the fighters. In the blue corner, wearing blue, weighing in at 145 pounds and fighting out of TKO Fighting Arts in Kitchener, Canada. Making his professional debut here tonight, introducing Chris Greigg. And in the red corner, wearing blue with white and weighing at 150 pounds. He's fighting out of LA Boxing in Costa Mesa, California. His record 32-2. And I'll give you Tom Excess Energy Jones. And now your referee, Mark Zecchinatos, giving instructions.
Well, if you're sitting there at home saying to yourself, I think I've seen Tom Jones before, indeed you have. He is a veteran kickboxer. Tom coming off a 5-year layoff, during which time he really pursued the endurance sports, trying to raise money for children around the nation, and did a great job of it. Good to see Tom back.
Yeah, I like to look at it more like a 5-year hiatus, Phil.
That's right.
And he was out there trying to do something to raise resources for much-needed youth programs that he's been very much involved with.
And such a great ambassador to kickboxing, Muay Thai fighting. But Blinky, time will tell here in this fight how much a 5-year sabbatical has taken from Tom Jones.
No, absolutely, Phil. I mean, it's like any other sport. I mean, you can't just walk away and then come back and expect to shine. Although, Tom is an incredible athlete. He's been able to demonstrate, he's got the condition and the will. So let's see tonight if the skill is still there.
And his opponent tonight, Chris Greigg, he's a Canadian fighter. Steve Witter's working his corner tonight, so he comes in with a good corner man and a pretty decent fight resume of his own. Boy, you wonder how much more does Tom Jones have left in the tank? Been at this a long time, Link.
Well, he's had his fair share, there's no doubt about it, but obviously he's more than capable, or the commission here in California wouldn't allow him to fight. And so, he comes in, you look at him, I mean, he's in tip-top condition. I don't think he's ever had to move up in weight. He's always fought at the same weight division. And I think what's going to be interesting to see is going to be if he has his timing and his distance, Phil, because those ingredients you don't hear a lot of talk about. You hear about power, speed, snap, but you don't hear a lot about the timing. And a good right hand landed there by Tom. He's actually pressing the fight.
Yeah, you get the feeling early on that Chris Greigg simply trying to stay out of the way of Jones, and wisely so.
Chris Greigg fighting from the southpaw stance also. And not only come off a layoff, then you fight a southpaw that can make it a little awkward for you. Both fighters, Tom Jones attempting the leg kicks there as he steps back in with a jab right cross.
That'll be a flash knockdown. It will not count.
The counter left hand by Chris Greigg.
And that's the end of round 1. We'll be back with more bonus coverage in a moment. Phil Stone along with Blinky Rodriguez. We are at the arena in Upland, California as our bonus coverage continues. The IKKC California Welterweight Title. This is first round action.
And there you see the counter left round kick by Chris Greigg. As Tom Jones is more than willing to press the fight, Phil. He has come out. He has initiated the action there as we see Chris Greigg stumble down. He kind of held onto his cup. kind of seeking a low blow from Tom Jones. Tom Jones on the attack. He throws a right. Actually, it looked like to me it landed on the left thigh of Chris Greigg.
We're set to go. Live action for round 2. Tom Jones, the veteran.
Tom Jones there leading with the right hand, led twice with the right hand, which isn't something that you see happen a lot because you can get countered. Again, Tom Jones pressing the action, pressing the fight. He's the guy that's been out of action for 5 years, yet he's the one taking the initiative. There he goes low with a leg kick. I don't know, I'd give that first round to Tom Jones.
Absolutely.
Counter right hand by Jones.
Now, Blinky, how many times have we seen the younger fighters get in the ring against Tom Jones thinking to themselves, I can take this old boy out. This is my day. This is my dream fight, only to see Jones knock him into oblivion.
Exchange of punches there. Greigg landing the left and Jones landing the right hand. You know, in the Canadian fighter, Phil, Chris Greigg, you know, more than willing just to wait on Jones, looking to counter. Leg kick right hand by Jones. Jones, obviously the busier of both fighters.
And Tom really with good snap on his punches here in the early going.
And he's throwing them nice and straight, Phil, but again, it's the distance that he's lacking. You see the right hand just short, just a little short. It's not where it's really going to explode with the torque and the power.
Jones, good right hand, backs up the Canadian.
Coming right back with a leg kick by Tom Jones. I like to see him put his hands and his feet together. You throw the right leg, come back with the hook. There you see a right left by Tom Jones.
Final seconds of this second round.
And again, Tom Jones, Phil, taking the initiative, the aggressor again. I'd have to give him the second round, unofficially, of course.
Yeah.
But he's the one pushing the fight. He's the one making the fight. The younger fighter, the Canadian fighter, Chris Greigg, you know, happy with just waiting on Tom Jones, looking to counter, and not really putting out a lot.
You know, just before this fight, Jones made no bones about it. He wants Danny Steele.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jones, he's going to have to go ahead and give a little more thought to that. Danny Steele's a tremendous fighter, tremendous amount of experience. In lieu of the fact that Tom Jones has been off so long, it's just interesting that he would even ask the promoter, Dennis Warner, to fight
I agree.
Danny Steele. And here you see him, though. He's on the attack. He'd have to have a lot more than this to get busy with Danny Steele at this juncture of his career, Phil. No disrespect to Tom Jones. He's a gentleman. He's a tremendous warrior. But that's a tough order.
No question, through 2 rounds, Jones has dictated the pace of this fight. Greigg almost looks very uncertain of himself in there, Blinky. If I didn't know better, I think he was almost somewhat fearful of Tom Jones. He's telegraphing everything. He's very hesitant with his punches, with his leg thrusts, and he's going to have to get real busy and become much more demonstrative with his offense in these last 3 rounds.
No, absolutely, and I would look for his corner to compel him and to drive him to get out there and take the initiative. You come a long ways from Canada, get out there and show him what you got. And maybe that's just the strategy of this younger fighter. He's going to let the old guy get tired, and then I'll jump on you. So let's see if he can make that happen now, but he seems very tentative, Phil.
Well, like you, unofficially, I have Jones winning the first 2 rounds. So if we're correct and the Canadian doesn't win this round, he's done unofficially.
Another leg kick landed by Tom Jones. Jones with the black ankle supporters on, both fighters wearing blue trunks. See Chris Greigg trying to land a lead straight left, but Jones too smart to get hit with a lead punch like that. Jones again going down low to the legs of Greigg.
Well, Greigg content just to hold on here in this fight. And, you know, Blinky, you may have something. He may just be trying to get Jones to expend his energy and then go after Tom in rounds 4 and 5.
Yeah, but Tom is a very conditioned athlete, Phil, a very conditioned fighter. He doesn't waste a lot of punches. He's very, you know, he's methodical about what he does, but he doesn't just throw wildly. And you can see him, he's plotting in, he's popping the jab. He'll go down low. That time he came back up high with a right leg kick, but he usually will go right to the thighs. There's a good stiff jab by Tom Jones.
Neither fighter has been down. Neither fighter has been hurt at all. Well,
straight right hand to the body.
They're going to count it.
Yeah,
they're going to count it.
Straight right hand to the body, put him on his seat, and referee Mark Zaccarato's giving him the mandatory count. So now getting to that scorecard you're talking about, Phil. Now we got a knockdown, which is probably going to go 10-8.
Yep.
Unless this young Canadian fighter can demonstrate the will to come out and really bang the next couple of rounds, forget about it.
We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Upland, California. Along with Blinky Rodriguez, I'm Phil Stone. We are at the arena for bonus coverage of tonight's World Championship Kickboxing. Let's look now at action in round 3. Tom Jones and Chris Greigg.
And you see Tom right there going, you know, to the body with a knee as he threw the right leg. Attempted right uppercut is, you know, throughout the night we've seen Tom Jones pushing the fight, taking the initiative, and there we see a counter right hand hook by Chris Greigg. Really one of the few punches he's landed throughout the night. There it is again. It was more like a slap, though, Phil, like it caught him on the inseam of the glove.
Now, Blinky, let's see if your thought process holds true. You were saying in round 2 that perhaps Chris Greigg was just pacing himself to get to the 4th and 5th round. And if that is in case the fact here, I expect a little bit more action from Greigg here in round 4.
Well, absolutely. But here we're seeing a knockdown with a body punch, straight right hand to the body that referee Mark Zaccarato's, there it is, right on the chest, knocks him down. And the referee determines that that is a knockdown, giving Chris Greigg a mandatory count.
And now we are set for live action in round 4. All right, Jones just tossing Greigg to the canvas.
Overhand right landed by Jones. This is the busiest we've seen Chris Greigg come out, Phil, as he takes a right hand on the ear. Straight as an arrow, Phil, right down the pipe. Kid from Canada's tough. He ate the whole thing. Right leg, left jab by Jones. Again, Jones landing all the cleaner blows, Phil, throughout the night. Another right hand by Jones. Jones got to come back with that left hook now. Put 2-3 punches together. Remember, Tom Jones, as we said earlier in the evening, has been out of the ring for 5 years.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, as an ambassador of goodwill, but he's doing a good showing here tonight. And it's almost like this young Canadian fighter, Chris Greigg, Phil, was more on a survival mode, more so than coming to win a fight.
Yeah, I agree with that, Blink. Greigg just kind of pushing his punches out now here in the third and fourth round. Kind of get the feeling, Blinky, he's just trying to survive.
Well, you know, Phil, we were talking earlier about him possibly waiting for the older Tom Jones to kind of fizzle so he could come on. But Jones hasn't fizzled. I'm not surprised. He's a conditioned fighter. He always comes prepared to go the route if he needs to.
Final 10 seconds of this fourth round.
You know, and it'd be really different if Chris Greigg was a heavy puncher or a heavy kicker. Then you could say, well, he's still got that puncher's chance, but he's not showing that to me tonight.
4 down and 1 to go. Really a round with very little definitive action. No question in my mind, like the preceding 3, Blinky, that Jones won that fourth round.
Well, I mean, at least on my unofficial scorecard, I'd have Tom Jones winning all 4 rounds.
And there is the Canadian fighter, Chris Greigg. Steve Witter working his corner. Blinky, when you're working the corner of a fighter like Chris Greigg, what can you possibly tell this young man at this stage of the fight?
Well, I've seen cornermen that get as irate as slapping their fighter across the head and saying, come on, snap out of it. We came a long ways. We want to be able to come back. We just give these people a show. Let's get out there and let everything you got left. You better empty your tank now. And, you know, I've seen a lot of corner people that are just get right in their fighter's face when they don't see the fighter putting out what he needs to put out.
I can't help but sit here looking up there thinking this young man just wants to survive this final round and get home. Take a look at action in that fourth round.
See both fighters throwing punches, neither one of them really landing. You know, as the fight is worn on, there's a good straight right hand by Tom Jones. The question of distance and timing, as the fight is wore on, we've seen Jones landing cleaner and cleaner punches, Phil, and kicks as the fight is worn on. Earlier in the fight, he didn't have the distance that he's now gaining.
We're set, 5th and final round, and let's lock it up. You know, Blinky, if you're working Jones's corner, this is the perfect tune-up fight for a fighter that's been on a long hiatus.
No, absolutely, Phil. There's no question about it. I think strategically he picked the right fight. But nevertheless, you're still coming in after 5 years, and you don't know how the body's going to respond. I mean, when you're under the, the fight game's a tough business, Phil. It's, tennis is tough, but I have to say fighting's tougher.
I think a little bit.
And you see Jones still.
There's a right hand by Jones.
And again, he's the willing of both fighters. Phil is still willing to press the fight, knowing that he's ahead on all scorecards. He's still willing to make the fight, and that's a showman. Attempted roundhouse kick to the head by Jones. He's only thrown one before that. It's a good idea. He should have doubled up on it.
Now Jones showing all of us there's a lot of fire left in that furnace. You can't help but get the feeling Chris Greigg is out of steam and has been out of gas for a couple of rounds now. Blinky, while for Tom Jones, he just seems to gain more and more enthusiasm as the fight wears on.
Well, you can sure see one thing happening. He's dropping a lot of the ring rust in this fight, Phil.
Yeah, well said.
And I think that's something that he really wanted to do. Young kid's taking some good shots, though. He's been durable, and he's been there for Tom Jones to go ahead and continue to track down.
Final 10 seconds of this fight. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of intrigue as to the outcome of this fight, I don't believe.
There you see both fighters attempting the kick. Tom Jones throws a right roundhouse kick to the body, follows it up with a straight right hand, which he made a home for throughout the night. There he throws a wide left hook, comes right back with that straight right hand, landing again flush on the head of Chris Greigg. He goes switch leg kick to the front leg of Chris Greigg, and those do damage. They don't look like a lot, but they do damage.
All judges score 50-44, all in favor for the winner. In the red corner, Tom Jones. And also, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the challenger who made his professional debut here tonight.
No surprise whatsoever. Tom Jones is the winner. We'll be back to wrap it up in a moment.